Do you feel it? That little something creepy hiding under your skin, picking at your mind? Maybe you've been cursed. Maybe the rotten swamp water is slowly soaking into your flesh. Maybe there's a hex hanging in the shadows. It's made of old bones, spit and blood, and it intends to make you mad. Or maybe you're the one that crafted it. Maybe you made that thing to weaken the survivors and bring them into your madness. Either way, you've gone too far now, deep into the backwater swamp. Tread carefully. When the authorities decided to drain the backwater swamp, human remains were found everywhere. Now, the survivors find themselves trapped in the decaying vegetation of the swamp. They will get lost in between the mud walls and will try to find shelter in the ancient boat graveyard. But death is not quiet in those murky corners. Once, Lisa Sherwood was a nice, decent person. But then they captured her, kept her imprisoned in the dark waters and slowly cut slices of her flesh off of her body. The excruciating torment she went through twisted her mind and carved the memory of pure pain deeply into her bones. It slices away everything else. There's nothing left but the hag now. That and the craving to hurt, to eat, and to hang. The hag's power is the phantasm trap. By shaping the mud and imbuing it with her power, she can create illusions to trick the survivors. She traces ritualistic marks on the ground which, when triggered, turn into a duplicate of herself to confuse and scare her prey. The hag's perks revolve around a new gameplay mechanic, the Hex Totems. They have one purpose: to weaken the survivors and take away their abilities. The first perk is called Ruin, a terrible curse that impairs your skill at repairing generators. As long as it's active, good skill checks will regress the generator, and great skill checks will not grant bonuses. This will persist until you find and tear down the totem. The second perk is called Devourer Hope. The hag hates hope, and the smallest flicker of it hurts her. When a survivor is rescued from a hook at least 24 meters away from a killer, the Devourer Hope totem will receive a token. These tokens grant various abilities to the killer and will be active until the specific totem is destroyed. The final perk is the third seal. If you get touched by the killer while that hex totem is active, you will lose some of your aura reading abilities. It will cloud your mind and make you an easier prey. If the killer touches another survivor, the curse will be transferred to them. The effect lasts as long as the totem is standing. Ace dreamed of sitting at the High Roller's table for as long as he can remember. With his charming smile, his sharp wit, and an unnatural amount of luck, he managed to rise above his small beginnings and live way above his means for a long time. But all the luck in the world won't change the fact that, in the end, the house always wins. Ace comes with 3 perks. The first one is Ace in the Hole. Lady Luck always seems to be throwing something good your way. When getting an item from a chest, there's a chance that an add-on of uncommon rarity or lower will be attached to it. The second perk is Up the Ante. Since you're so sure that things will work out in the end, your confidence is contagious. For each survivor still alive, this perk grants a bonus to the luck of all remaining survivors. The last perk is called Open-Handed. Luck works a lot better with a bit of skill thrown in. You are alert at all times. This perk strengthens your aura reading ability by increasing its range. Go on then. Take your first steps into this damp and decaying swamp. Let it take you in. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and make your choice. Did you enter this place driven by hunger for flesh? Or did you go in there in search of a new way out of your torment? Halloween comes with fun and games, with fake blood and screams that turn into laughs as you get spooked. Nothing is real, but what if one of those masks hid something much more real and terrifying? Haddonffield will never return to that quiet little place where school kids could go for a burger late at night, or where you didn't lock your door. Instead, it's turned into a place riddled with fears and eyes looking over their shoulders. A town filled with questions about what truly happened that night. A place where playgrounds start to rust and pin drops can be heard during those empty nights. If you dare to embark on a journey in Haddonffield, you might stumble upon someone else in the dark. Michael Myers is the essence of evil, poured into a human mold and sent out into the world to induce pain. He bears no regrets and no empathy. There's nothing more classic than a knife, and a knife is Michael Myers' weapon of choice. It's swift and deadly and will never run out of bullets. Michael Myers comes with a new power called Evil Within. It is solely focused on tagging survivors as obsessions. As a survivor is tagged as an obsession, Michael's chances of catching and hooking that prey increases significantly. But as a survivor becomes an obsession, they too might get benefits. Michael Myers comes with 3 perks, and the first one is called Save the Best for Last. Save the Best for Last gives you a decreased cooldown period on missed and successful attacks if you let your obsession stay alive. The second perk is Dying Light. The obsession's speed for altruistic actions are increased, but if the obsession is killed, other survivors are punished as repairing, sabotaging, and healing takes longer. The final perk is Play with your food. You can keep playing with an obsession as you chase them. You can even let them go. If your obsession escapes, your movement speed is increased. Every hunter needs a prey, a poor soul that doesn't suspect a thing, not until the blade goes in. Laurie is your typical teen, a girl with a loving family and friends. She might have asked for something else as they turned into dusk, but not what came. The only thing she learned about herself after a family reunion was that she had vigor and perseverance, and that just might keep her alive. Laurie comes with 3 perks. Last Survivor is the first one. Last Survivor is, in a way, morbid, as your chances of survival increase when other survivors die. For each dead survivor, you'll be harder to find, as the killer's aura reading ability is disrupted. The second perk is Decisive Strike. As Laurie is grabbed by the killer, she stabs at him with whatever she can find. If it's successful, she'll manage to run away. The final perk is Object of Obsession. This perk gives you benefits in the same way as the killer. If you become the killer's obsession, you can also spot the killer from afar, and therefore, hopefully avoid him. Haddonffield is forever doomed. Michael Myers will never take his mask off, and Laurie might not give up. From here on, a new chapter is being written, where you either get blood on your hands or blood pouring out of you. Being left for dead is not always the end. For some, it's only a shift to something else. For the others, being left for dead means that you're no more. But in this case, it just means that you've moved on. Bill Overbeck was left for dead. An elderly man forced to spend his days fighting hordes of undead. A much-needed savior to his group, and an unrelenting wave of destruction for the flesh-eaters. For Bill, the final sacrifice would prove to be quite a surprise. Instead of the plain and well-deserved quiet of death, he woke up to a whole new world of pain and suffering, and new people to save in a strange place where the sacrifices are never enough. Bill Overbeck is tough as nails. He knows how to pull through just about anything. And he's not afraid to put himself in danger if he has a chance to save someone. Bill comes with 3 perks. The first one is Left Behind. If you're the last person remaining in the trial, for each generator left to be completed, gain a bonus to repair speed. The second perk is called Borrowed Time. Once per trial, when saving an ally from a hook within the killer's terror radius, any damage taken that would put you or the unhooked survivor in the dying state will be delayed. The final perk is Unbreakable. Past battles have taught you a thing or two about survival. Unbreakable grants the ability to fully recover from the dying state once per trial. Everyone has a purpose that keeps them going. For Bill, that purpose is the call to help others, no matter what the situation is, into the dark with no salvation in sight. He just keeps putting one foot in front of the other. There's work to be done. Dead by Daylight, Left Behind is released on March 8 for free.